Welcome to Mastering Your Monday podcast, and this is the show that talks about boundaries, work-life balance, and living a life where you have control. This is for highly driven professionals who want to develop a more balanced professional and personal life and live out their true values. Those who are ready to grab the reins and change the status quo. The professional who's ready to have a life again and who's ready to take a stand, living in a way that you feel respected, valued, and fulfilled each and every day. We talk about topics like setting boundaries, taking risks, life management, and all the tips, techniques, and strategies to help you master your Monday, one day at a time. So where do we go from here? This gratitude thing isn't easy. It takes courage, discipline, and vigilance to live an authentic life of gratitude. Gratitude isn't about being thankful for what's good in our lives. It's about recognizing what is good in our lives, owning it, and cherishing it with all that we are. Hey, Michelle O'Neill here, and I love a great conversation. So pull up a chair, ringside that is, and let's talk the real deal today on episode 30, Finding Gratitude in an Angry World, Moving Forward. Now, these last few episodes have given us the opportunity to really grasp a better understanding of gratitude and all it entails. And I hope in some ways it's answered some fundamental questions for you, such as how it can make us happier, the lessons learned from practicing gratitude, how boundaries can impact our life, and why should we take time off each week for rest and reflection. I probably want to go a bit deeper on those last two. Boundary girl here. And you know that I'm always down for some rest and relaxation. Oh, no, oops, I meant reflection. Remember, I said that earlier. Now, today I'll be discussing how to identify and manage our boundaries as we move forward with gratitude. You'll also learn how to be grateful for lessons learned from the things that you've escaped. We'll explore awareness and reflection of what is happening around us and within us as we live a life with gratitude. Really grasping that practicing restfulness and slowing down, it gives us enough space to actually feel that gratitude too. And oh my gosh, there is so much that I want to talk to you about, so much I want to share with you. So let's get started. Remember, this is just scratching the surface, but here goes. Let's start with understanding the results of gratitude in reference to the different areas of our life. And if you're like me, I want to know the why it's important. Why is gratitude so important? So what better way to place, what better place to start than with ourselves? So much as I hate to do it, let's work from the inside out. When we practice what I call self-gratitude, we're actually taking the time to establish our worthiness. First, to ourselves, and then to the world. And failure to implement good boundaries can lead to resentment, anger, burnout. And I'm sure that is the last place that you want to be. Seems to me to be the exact opposite of resting in a place of gratitude. When we practice self-gratitude, it's a different way of interacting with ourselves. We begin to have different personal conversations and start seeing ourselves in a new, better light. You'll start doing things like being more aware of your emotions and choosing the ones that serve you best and letting go of all those negative ones. Sometimes the hardest person to practice grace and gratitude with is ourselves. And one of the greatest ways of showing that gratitude is by believing that we are worthy. We are worth the grace of gratitude. It's about making that decision to allow yourself to experience the grace of less pain, less stress, healthier relationships, and having physical, mental, and emotional stability. And most importantly, having better self control. And we can all use a bit more of that better self control thing, right? Especially when it comes to ice cream and chocolate. But I'm not talking on the physical level. When I think of gratitude, my thoughts always go back to my husband and my daughter. And I believe next to being a wife, one of the greatest gifts and assignments that I've been given in life is that of a mom. But I know growing up, you never imagined that those rules and guidelines that our parents enforced on us or that we had to endure in school, at home as a child would not only be instrumental in strengthening our character, but also be the training ground for the lesson and values that we'd also share with our kids. And at the time, they just didn't seem like fun. And they definitely weren't things that you wanted to restricting you at that moment. You felt more like they were restrictions and you didn't see the good. You only saw that it was something that you couldn't do. Now, as a mom, I can look back and see just how much those boundaries protected me and also strengthened me at the same time. And for that, I am so, so grateful. I'm able to share with my daughter the experiences that I had the fortitude to come through and many such lessons that I gathered along the way. I'm so thrilled that I'm able to share them with her. So, with that said, one of the best things that we can do for our children is teach them the limits and boundaries of life and share with them how these things that at the time seem painful are really about protecting them until they're ready to take over the world, or at least their world. Imagine what would happen if a butterfly didn't get to struggle through that cocoon. Would it be able to fly? Imagine if a baby bird didn't have to push his way through the shell. Would they be able to survive, fly, take care of themselves? I remember when I was growing up back then, we didn't have to wear seat belts. And okay, I'm telling my age, but back then you could ride free, carefree, just free with no seat belts. And when my mom and I would be riding in the car, I remember when she suddenly hit the brakes for some reason or another, she would throw her arm out instantly and slam it across my chest. But it was to hold me in place for safety. And that's a vivid memory. I can feel the pain that hit my chest. But the thing is, that boundary that she put in place, that boundary that she suddenly erected, saved my life. It saved me from getting hurt. It protected me from further danger. That's what a lot of our boundaries were for us growing up. The thing that would protect us and hold us still and away from danger until conditions were right. It wasn't that we would never be able to do that thing, but the conditions had to be right. We had to be able to handle whatever was coming towards us in the right way, in the best way. And parenting doesn't come with this unabridged manual on every situation and everything to do. It's more like on the job training. And whether we realize it or not, it starts from our birth, the training that is. Everything we learn in life, you can just about bet some of it seeps into our parenting skills. What you will or will not do with your kids come from some lesson that you've learned along the way. And again, for that, I say, I am so grateful. And I want to touch on one more area, gratitude and boundaries in the workplace. The boundaries you set in your workplace are just as important as those you set on the home front, especially when we spend a great deal of our time working in some form or fashion. When we constitute the right boundaries, it makes us and those around us better at this bringing about this teamwork thing. You need boundaries to have effective and efficient teamwork. And when it comes to boundaries in the workplace and doing it with the foundation of gratitude, we bring out the best in those around you because we focus on their strengths and build up their strengths, and don't focus on their shortcomings, but teach them how to overcome them. Our gratitude is in the acknowledgement of what's brought to the table and the cohesiveness of teamwork that happens when everyone is working in their strengths and willing to let go and build and grow in their shortcomings. And with that, I'll get off my boundaries soapbox. I know you're like, how long is this girl gonna sit on that boundaries thing? Forever. So I want to leave you with some rest and for real reflection. Life passes us by when we're unable to take the time to reflect on the lessons of the past and rest in the joys of the present. My friend, that's when and how we move forward in gratitude. When we take the moments to hug life and the people in it. Charles Swindoll says, gratitude has a way of opening a door to a new perspective. Gratitude is the keystone of the spiritual life. I'm grateful for the lessons that I've learned in my life because they have given me the power to shape my future and be the person that I want to be. And it ain't over yet. I'm thankful to God for giving me balance in my life by introducing me and giving me an understanding of the power of boundaries, while also showing me how much freedom that I truly have and had. I'm aware that this newfound freedom has led to a time of reflection and rest, which has helped me grow into who I am today. I would encourage you to a daily practice of gratitude, rest, and reflection. It allows us to gain a better understanding of our limitations and change the direction of our thoughts in order to better manage life and all that comes with it. I am so grateful that you were able to hang out with me today for our ringside chat. And remember, you are amazing. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit subscribe so you won't miss a single episode. And one more thing, I can't go without saying that I'd love you to visit meet.michelleoneil.com so that you can find out what I'm up to and get a gift while you're there. Make sure to let me know how I can serve you further so that I can help you master every day like it's your Monday. When you go to look for that gift, just click the link that says free gift. I want to leave you with something to help you move forward in your life. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye. I want to thank you for listening to the Mastering Your Monday podcast. I hope you learned at least one tip or technique you can walk away with and implement today. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review the show, and let us know how much you enjoyed it and what you learned from this episode. We honor your time and your commitment to Mastering Your Monday podcast. And as always, we want to remind you, you are cherished, respected, valued, and in control. See you on the next episode.